pain started with a GI virus, but even when the GI virus went away, the pain stayed. I had gastroparesis and could not walk much without the pain getting worse. I was hospitalized twice for weight loss and diagnosed with celiac, and told that I would get better on a gluten-free diet, but that was not the case. My pain was an inch from my lower right quadrant, inch from my belly button, and constant. He was the first one to understand how I was in pain and give me a diagnosis and say he could help.
Whether it was a nerve injury initially, or some kind of illness that caused the vomiting and stuff, either way, he ended up with an injury to a nerve called the anterior cutaneous nerve. These are the terminal branches or the very ends of the intercostal nerves that come from the spine, wrap around underneath the ribs, and then come into the abdominal area to innervate the anterior abdominal wall. There's an anatomic relationship with these nerves and the nerves that innervate the internal organs. They come from similar levels of the spine, and so I think that there can be a referred phenomena that causes things like nausea and whatnot. I was 90% sure that he had anterior cutaneous nerve entrapment syndrome just because of the summary that his mother sent, which was an excellent detailed summary, the location of his pain and how the pain was stimulated by any kind of physical activity, any tension put on the abdominal wall, or any compression, just pushing on that one place. It was such a focal pain just in the same area, never moved. That's sort of all classic for an anterior cutaneous nerve entrapment syndrome. When you're having a true anterior cutaneous nerve entrapment, you generally just make an incision right over the point of maximal tenderness. And then it's very careful, meticulous dissection down through the subcutaneous tissue using bipolar cautery, so there's really a bloodless field. That's key, because if things get bloodstained, you can easily miss the nerve, or the differentiation between a nerve and a small vessel can be lost. You just go down and you find the nerve, and very often there is a little vessel traveling with it. You just find it and follow it back to its point of exit from the rectus sheath. You open up the rectus sheath, and then you take this nerve and dissect it down into the rectus muscle. And you got to make sure that you're past any point of scarring of the nerve to either surrounding muscle or the rectus fascia. And once that nerve is sort of gliding, then you disconnect it, you excise the distal portion, and you take the proximal end and just bury it down in the central substance of the rectus abdominis muscle. It's like getting a cavity filled. You go in with a horrible aching pain, you get the problem resolved, and you come out and your pain's gone. And that's pretty much what it is for these surgeries. There's obviously a little discomfort with the surgical incision itself, but most of the time these patients know right away, within a day or two, if not immediately, that their original pain is gone.
Dr. Tollestrup was the only one who understood how I was in pain and told me he could help. I went from being in pain and not being able to participate in anything and having to lie down all day to being completely pain-free and doing normal activities. If no doctor has been able to tell you the cause of your pain, don't let them push you into just living with it. Keep searching for someone who will help, like Dr. Tollestrup. Thank you, Dr. Tollestrup. You gave me my life back.